Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. We are at part 4 of the Alice Sin case. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is very strongly advised. Instead of registering as a sex offender after police found incriminating child pee on his computers, he evaded authorities by fleeing to China, his home country. China does not have an extradition treaty with the United States. Therefore, if criminals flee there, China does not work with the U.S. authorities to try to bring them back to the U.S. Raymond lived in China under a new identity for years. There, ever the grandeur illusionist, he actually had the audacity to call the CIA and tell them that he would work as a double agent, as a spy. The CIA decided to play his little game and played along with him since, they pulled up his record and found all this stuff out. They were like, wow, Raymond, we were waiting for you to call us. We've been dying to have someone of your amazingness reach out to us. We have just the job. You just have to prove that you can successfully enter in and out of the country. As soon as Raymond touched down in SFO on December 9th of 2011 under a fake name with a fake passport, he was arrested. On December 24th of 2011, as an early Christmas gift to society, Pinole arrested Raymond Wong, finally. Jessica had been Raymond's alibi all of these years, until December of 2011, when she was interrogated by police. She finally cracked. Jessica said that Raymond shot Alice as she lay on the sand, and he forced Jessica to hold the gun and fire the final bullet. Jessica said he told her, quote, "She's dead, it doesn't matter, you better expletive shoot her again," end quote. Jessica told Sergeant Tim Cowles and Officer Matthew Wallace, quote, "I just closed my eyes and I was so scared, I was crying and the gun just went off," end quote. That's when Jessica also told them that Raymond lured both her and Alice to Nevada, telling Jessica that they would get rid of Alice together and telling Alice that they would get rid of Jessica together. In February of 2013, a Contra Costa County judge ruled that there was enough evidence to try Raymond Wong for the murder of Alice Sin. Judge Patricia Scanlon did, however, reject the special allegation that the murder was done for financial gain. Therefore, Raymond, 41 years old at the time, was not eligible for the death penalty. Later, that would have not mattered since the death penalty executions were stopped by Governor Newsom's moratorium established in March of 2009 and 2019, and no one in California has been executed since 2006. Raymond Wong's trial for the murder of Alice Sin was dramatic and one of those things that I wish I was there for. The trial of Raymond Wong for the 1999 murder of Alice Sin finally started on May 27th of 2015. Prosecutor Mary Knox argued that Raymond imitated the thousands upon thousands of violent pee material found on his computers by staging the murder scene before desecrating Alice's body before he left her in the entrance of a badger den in the Nevada desert. She said, quote, "He was not content to murder Alice. He had to act out his depraved, debased fantasy," end quote. At the pretrial hearings, detectives testified that Raymond had actually searched, quote, "the white supremacy movement," end quote, on his computers before Alice's death. He tried to throw off authorities by leaving Monopoly money at the scene that had notes on it indicating that the murder had been done by, quote, "the Aryan Knights." He also testified that the detectives also testified that he sent messages to various media outlets news and newspapers suggesting that Alice's brutal murder was the work of white supremacists because Alice was Chinese. Detectives traced those emails to Wired, a cyber cafe in downtown Calgary, Canada, where he was on business at the time. Around the same time Alice announced that she was pregnant with her second child, Jessica had given birth in a Sacramento maternity ward to a baby girl. We do not know exactly what happened on that fateful night, but we do know that on November 21st of the year 2000, Raymond, Jessica, and Alice went on a road trip to Reno. Raymond and Jessica came back. Alice did not. Detectives also testified that Raymond and Jessica created an alibi for November 21st of 1999 via instant message. Another email found on his computer displayed an email he sent Jessica before killing Alice saying, quote, "I would have killed her a long time ago. The only thing standing in the way was you. The more you harassed her, the harder it was for me to do," end quote. During opening statements, the prosecution presented their case. Raymond killed Alice with the help of his co-conspirator, Jessica Tang, his other girlfriend, who was also pregnant at the same time Alice was. At trial, it was disclosed that not only had Alice been shot multiple times and her body was mutilated by either human activity, animals, or both, but her stomach was sliced open and her uterus, along with her baby, were taken out. When facing the consequences of his own actions, Raymond Wong, by way of his defense attorney Tony Serra, objected to the jurors knowing of the pictures and videos of mutilated women, Asian women, found on Raymond's computers. Tony Serra argued that, the quote-unquote snuff story about women's rape, murder, and dismemberment were irrelevant and should not have been allowed into evidence. He argued Raymond was innocent and that the case was solely based on circumstantial evidence. He is actually quoted saying, quote, "I consider it a miscarriage of justice. I have a hunch the jury here rendered an emotional judgment. They certainly didn't go through the evidence in such a short time period. We will 100% appeal," end quote. What a fucking miserably inconsiderate choice of words to use the word miscarriage just when describing miscarriage of justice, as when the facts of the case is that her uterus was literally taken out of her body, cut from her body, botched.